Gotta get this in before that sun gets too crazy. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken, and I am on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I could become a fat guy no more. So let's talk about month number 3. So week number 9 ran from October 28th to November 3rd. And I got stupid. I did something I really shouldn't have done. I decided for only the second time ever, I was going to do a shot in the thigh again. I don't know why, because the last time it didn't go too well. But I did it. And yeah, what do they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yeah, I must be insane. About 2 days after I took that shot, I could tell it wasn't working. It was pretty much like I hadn't even taken the shot, just like back in week 2 when I tried it in the thigh the last time. The food noise was back, and it was louder than ever. I like to say that it was back, it was pissed off, and it was making up for lost time. All I could hear in my head and all I could think was eat, eat, eat. It was annoying, especially since that week included Halloween. This is the first time that we've lived in a neighborhood where we had to deal with trick-or-treaters for the first time in at least 10 years. So of course there was plenty of Halloween candy sitting around, and I did pretty good the few days leading up to Halloween. But then Halloween night, I had 3 or 4 of those, those little tiny things. And then the days after, what was left, I kept hitting like the taffy, or I would have a chocolate bar, but I preferred, like the Now and Laters, the Laffy Taffies, the things like that, the fruit flavors versus having the chocolate. I also felt that they probably had less calories, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that could just be me trying to tell myself that. I did put it all into my tracker, into MyFitnessPal. Everything that I had, I put in there, and it wasn't pretty. So that week, my daily averages ended up being 1,249 calories, 106 grams of protein, 23 grams of fiber, and 1,014 milligrams of sodium. And what that did for me on the scale that week, even though it was a brutal week, I still went down 6 pounds. 6 pounds. I don't know how that's even possible, but I'll take it. So those 6 pounds put me down a total of 57 pounds on Mounjaro since September 2nd, at a grand total of 92 pounds overall for 2022. So week 10, I went back to the stomach to take the shot. I went to the right side of the stomach, and I would say easily within 24 to 36 hours, the food noise was gone completely. The appetite suppression was back. I like to say it's a brick in my stomach. It was back. I was quite happy. I was feeling good because I knew it was working, and that alone let me know to avoid giving the shots in the thigh ever again. I've said it before. Probably have to remind myself not to do it again. But the 2 weeks that I've done a shot in the thigh, week 2 and week 9, even though I lost weight on week 9, I've had nothing but a struggle. The food noise was back. All I wanted to do was eat. And it's just not what I'm looking for from this, because nobody wants that, right? You want to be able to have a good week, and those weeks were brutal for me. Probably the 2 hardest weeks I've had so far on Mounjaro. This week I hit one of my first marks that I'd been looking forward to since I started my journey, and that was to be under 500 pounds. At midweek, I hit 499. I'm not going to lie. I got off the scale and I started crying. It was that big of a thing to me. For the last several years, I've flirted between 500 and 600 pounds and have been solid within the 500 pound range. So it was very exciting when I finally finally got out of the 500s and had a 4 in front of that number on my weight. Now, sure, I understand I've got a long way to go, but that was a great milestone right there for me. So this week's averages, I had a total of 1,208 calories per day. I averaged 105 grams of protein, 36 grams of fiber, and 1,204 milligrams of sodium. And what that did for me, I went down 8 pounds. Another 8 pounds. That's 2 really good weeks in a row. 6 pounds last week, 8 pounds this week. And that brought me to another one of my milestones. Not only have I lost 65 pounds on Mounjaro, but I've officially lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds. Think about that. People think, oh, if I could lose 100 pounds, if I could lose 100 pounds. I just lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds. Granted, it took me 9 months to do it, but it's gone. 100 pounds. And I was so happy. Just to see that triple-digit number was exciting. So as week 11 started, I was riding a high of having gone down 14 pounds in the previous 2 weeks. And I started noticing things. I started to pay more attention to not just the scale, but to how things worked for me. So back at the end of August, just before I started Mounjaro, I had to get a new brace for my left leg foot, something called an Arizona brace. They actually put a cast on you and mold it just to you, so they make it specifically to your leg, your foot, your ankle, whatever, right? And so I got that made, and what a difference it's made helping me walk, helping me be able to just get around in general. But this week, I started noticing a lot of pain in that foot. I didn't know why, and it really bugged me because, that's not that old. I mean, we're talking 10 and a half weeks at this point. And so it kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because I'm like, if it ain't going to be working anymore, what the hell did I do going through getting on just to have it for a short period of time? And then when I got up Tuesday morning of that week, it kind of hit me. I wonder if it's not working and I'm feeling that pain because I've lost so much weight that it's actually too loose now. Is that possible? So as I walked out front, I asked my wife, I said, do you think that could be the reason? And she's like, I don't know, maybe. So I called the place where I got it made. They're just like 4 miles up the road, and asked if I can get into an appointment. And I was able to get in that Thursday. So as I got into my Santa Fe, I was really wondering if maybe I could put my seatbelt on without the extender. That guy. I had to buy it, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Because I got pulled over twice in a month by a member of the Issaquah Police Department back home. And the first time he let me go, second time he wrote me up. I was able to fight it. They reduced the ticket, but still, it kind of ticked me off. And so I bought this extender to use and had no problem since. So that morning, I was curious if I could stop using it. And I'll be damned. I removed it, and my seatbelt clicked in just fine. I had plenty of room. And again, if you've watched my videos, you'll understand what happens next. I started to cry. I was so damn happy to finally be rid of that thing that I started crying. That's a big step for me to I don't know how to say it, but normal, I guess. To not need something like that. I think anybody in this situation could totally understand that feeling. And I was just glad to not need it anymore. So as I went into that appointment, the guy who helped me, his name was Mark. He's a great guy. He took one look at the brace and he said, yeah, that's our trouble. What's going on? So I told him that I'd lost almost 70 pounds at that point. And he's like, we got to fix this thing. So what he did is he took off about 2 inches or so of plastic on each side of where the Velcro goes in, and he cut the Velcro straps by about 3 to 4 inches. On top of that, they had to put new padding down by the ankles, on each side of the ankles. So when my foot goes in, it holds it better. So as I put the brace on, after he did all the adjustments, Mark tells me, this is it. This is the only thing we can do without having to make a complete new one of these. So if you lose any more weight, we're going to have to recast it and make a whole new one. My response to him was simple, and I told him, I look forward to it. When I got home from that, I decided to take a look at some of my clothes in my closet to see if anything that hasn't fit in a long time would fit now. And just out of curiosity, I was riding a high from the seatbelt extender, from not needing it anymore. And there was quite a few things in there that I could actually start wearing again. So that excited me a lot. So that week, my daily averages were 1,165 calories, 104 grams of protein, 32 grams of fiber, and 1,142 milligrams of sodium. And on the scale, I went down 3 pounds. So the last 3 weeks was 8, 6, and 3. Can't argue with it. That's a hell of an average. So week 12, the final week of this month, on 7.5 milligrams of Mounjaro, was interesting. I decided to shake a few things up just to try something. Again, if you followed my videos, especially these recaps, you'll see that from time to time I like to throw a curveball to my body just to see how it'll react. So I decided to up my calories a little bit, up my sodium, and up my water some. I had been targeting, as I talked with my doctor, about 72 ounces a day. I wanted to get up around the 100 ounces a day mark just to see what would happen. So my week started on that Friday, and that Saturday I was actually quite busy. Had a lot of things to do, and I found out that I drank just a scotch over 120 ounces of water on that Saturday. Come Monday, I got on the scale and I was up 6 pounds. So I was taking it in, it just wasn't coming out. And could be because I also upped my sodium. I didn't go that high, but I don't know. Or it could be that even though I didn't have signs or I didn't feel like I was dehydrated, maybe my body was like, hey, look at all this extra water. We're going to hold on to this for a little bit. I will say one thing that happened when I upped the water is that I noticed that my bowel movements, TMI, right? But my bowel movements increased. I went from, if I was lucky, once a day to often 2 times a day, which is strange, but it makes sense. I mean, according to everything, you need water to be able to do that. And so having plenty in your system just makes it that much easier and alleviates constipation. But anybody who's in this situation knows that's not usually one of the funnest parts of losing weight, having to run to the bathroom to do that. So my averages for the week, I came in at 1,274 calories a day, 108 grams of protein, 33 grams of fiber, and 1,160 grams of sodium. And what that did on the scale for me was gave me a whopping goose egg. Woohoo! Look at that guy. 0. Yeah, it was a little frustrating after the previous few weeks. But the truth is, look at those weeks I had. 8, 6, 3, and then now 0. As long as this wasn't a trend, a pattern coming up. So that gave me 17 pounds lost for the month. A grand total of 68 lost with Mounjaro, and 103 pounds overall since I started back in January. So honestly, it wasn't a bad month when you look back at it like this. And truth be told, I have my notes here that I'm checking out from time to time. And when I look at them and see, the numbers and stuff, it's like, yeah, that was a pretty good month. I mean, I can't complain about it at all. overall, I mean, the scale, of course, I wish it had gone down a little more. But the non-scale victories that I had, between not needing the seatbelt extender, being able to walk better, of course, that had more to do with the brace, but I needed the brace adjusted because of the weight that I've lost. So being able to fit into more clothes, it's a great month. So, hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you're one of the new subscribers, I thank you for joining me on my journey. We got a long way to go, even though I am doing these rewind videos here to catch up for the time that I wasn't doing videos. We got 1 month more. So the next video will be month 4. And then I'm going to try to do weeklies after that if I can. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. So this week's numbers, I averaged a total of 1,208 grams. Oh. It should be easy.